Taiwan, I'm Reece with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's largest annual military drills wrap up on Friday. As Alan Liu reports, the 10-day exercise emphasized unscripted scenarios and aimed to strengthen civilian participation in national defense.
The Army refueling M1A2T Abrams tanks. The Navy deploying small attack boats for coastal defense drills. The Air Force practicing repairing damaged runways. Military police units protecting critical infrastructure. And more than 5,000 reservists mobilized for brigade training. It's all part of Taiwan's annual Kuang military exercise, 10 days of drills that ended on Friday. This year, the focus was more on unscripted scenarios and decentralized command and control. They mobilized around 20,000 personnel and come as China continues to ramp up military pressure on Taiwan. Beijing claims Taiwan and its military massively outnumbers Taiwan's, forcing the country to take a more asymmetric defense posture. Analysts say modern technology is changing the rules of warfare.
And I'm keen to see how does that look in the coming iterations of Hangguang, and how does that interact with, threats that come from things like UAVs or other sort of similar platforms.
During the drills in Miaoli, central Taiwan, the Army used a civilian truck to transport artillery rounds during a resupply mission. But some of the ammunition fell loose on the ground. Experts say incidents like this reflects the reality of what could actually happen in wartime.
当人这么多在移动的时候，一定难免会有一些状况。但这些状况发生的时候，我们是不是可以立即去排除？
The drills this year come as Defense Minister Wellington Koo says the U.S. is playing a role in Taiwan's military training.
They're there to sort of like evaluate and sort of figure out what the different drills that were happening were like, whether or not they're satisfied with it. And I do think it's a sign that at the working level, there is more deep cooperation between Taiwan and the United States in defense in a way that we haven't seen since 1979.
Taiwan, for the first time, also tested slowing down internet access under a simulated wartime scenario. Despite some criticism that a 30-minute drill with advance warning may not actually test Taiwan's resilience, some analysts say it's meant to encourage people to think ahead about how they would respond if they lost connection.
它虽然在感觉上对民众的影响有限，但是它有一种示警的效果，让民众甚至是一些企业必须要去思考，如果今天碰到这状况的时候，我们是不是有其他的备援机制？
Despite a significant military imbalance across the Taiwan Straits, the mobilization of units like these are part of preparations Taiwan is making in response to growing threats from China. Fu Hua Hong and Alan Liu for TaiwanPlus.
The Coast Guard says it repelled Chinese official ships from restricted waters during Taiwan's largest annual military exercise.
你们未经许可进入我国水域，已违反国际法规定，影响我国海域秩序及安全，请立即转向，尽速离开我国水域。
Coast Guard officials said 4 Chinese ships were asserting claims over waters around the Kinmen Islands, which are controlled by Taiwan. The vessels stayed in restricted waters for more than 2 hours before leaving. It's the second such incursion during Taiwan's annual 10-day Hangguang military exercise. The United States is imposing new tariffs on drones. Taiwanese drones will face a 15% levy, creating a new challenge for an industry officials say is vital to national security. Our reporter Lily Lamartina brings us this report.
Taiwan's drone industry is facing a new challenge. The Trump administration announced tariffs on drone imports aimed at reducing reliance on foreign suppliers, particularly China. Larger drones weighing over 25 kilograms or with technology sensitive to national security will face a 100% tariff. Smaller drones with less sensitive technology will face a 25% rate. For Taiwan, its drones and components will face a 15% tariff under the new policy. China has long dominated the drone market, but countries have raised security concerns about Chinese-made drones and components. This has led to an effort to build a so-called non-red supply chain, developing drone products without Chinese components or technology. Analysts in both Taiwan and Washington say these tariffs could reshape the commercial drone market, forcing U.S. customers to buy from U.S. suppliers or allied countries at a higher cost. Taiwan's economy ministry has not yet responded to a request for comment. But for Taiwanese drone manufacturers, they say the move could potentially help them tap into the U.S. non-red supply chain.
Short term, we were certainly facing a little bit cost challenges, but we will be much more competitive than other companies from China or from other sensitive countries. So all in all, long term, it's a great opportunity to us.
Taiwanese companies such as Thunder Tiger that are building factories in the U.S. could also face less impact, aligning with Trump's efforts to bring manufacturing back to U.S. soil. As governments in the United States and elsewhere turn to so-called non-red supply chains, Taiwan's drone market may still have an opportunity to expand as a trusted alternative to China. John Su and Lily Lamartina in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
A White House report has named Taiwan as one of dozens of countries involved in a global tariff evasion network of Chinese goods. The report accuses China of avoiding import tariffs by relabeling or reprocessing Chinese products in other countries before shipping them to the US. Taiwan, Canada, Japan, the EU and others were listed as entities that account for large volumes of China-linked goods embedded within legitimate trade flows. Taiwan's finance ministry says it is enforcing stricter regulations on exporting companies. Taiwan's legislature has approved 3 referendum proposals initiated by the opposition. One proposal would ask voters whether to legalize flogging as a punishment for serious crimes, including sexual assault and child abuse. The other 2 would ask whether to get rid of the ruling Democratic Progressive Party's nuclear-free homeland policy and whether to use traffic fines to improve road safety. A separate proposal to allow euthanasia for people with chronic illness was rejected. If approved by election authorities, the 3 referendums are expected to be held alongside November's local elections. Parts of Asia have seen a week of extreme weather, from wildfires in Indonesia to disastrous flooding in China and Japan. It's all driven, at least in part, by this year's El Niño, and it could be some time before it ends. John Van Trieste reports.
Palm oil farmer Roni surveys the destruction on his property in southern Borneo in Indonesia. There's not much he can say. Charred waste is all he has to show for 7 years of work building up his own plantation. The wildfire that destroyed many of his trees came suddenly as Roni was caring for his wife in the hospital.
My father called us at around 3:30, saying that the fire was getting close to the plantation. So we asked him to try watering down the surrounding fires. But the blaze got big very quickly, and my father couldn't hold it down anymore.
It was just before harvest time, too. There's no money to replant. Roni says that it's now just a matter of cutting his losses. He's just one of many facing ruin from wildfires that have overrun many parts of Indonesia as an El Niño brings dry, windy weather. The country gets wildfires, but this year is something extraordinary. From January to June, the country lost more than 100,000 hectares to fires, more than double the losses during the first half of 2023, when the last El Niño affected the country. And fire season isn't over. While Indonesia burns, parts of China are underwater. Same El Niño effect, different outcome. In the northern city of Xuchang, Zhu Guoxin tries to restore some order in a flooded yard. Typhoon Dolphin may have passed, but the storage yard where Zhu is caretaker is still a wreck. The office space filled with shin-deep, mucky water. The metal construction materials for sale are now left to rust, with a first estimate of $30,000 in losses from ruined steel pipes alone. Zhu tried to salvage the yard, but the weather won.
下2天2夜一直在下，下了水往外抽着，只见涨，不见落。雨太大了，那你不想啊，下了雨都60多了，我这第一次见这大的雨，下的时间还长。
All the while, extreme downpours pummel eastern Japan. Emergency crews say 2 men were found dead in floodwaters in Chiba Prefecture near Tokyo. In just 24 hours, Chiba City got more than 3 times the amount of rain it normally gets during the whole of August. As officials urged more than 100,000 households to evacuate, the rain shut highways and rail services, leaving thousands of people stranded. Until Thursday, this area had never been under the Japanese Weather Service's highest alert level. It has now, rounding out a week of extreme weather spreading disaster across parts of Asia. Howard Zhang and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Coming up after the break, young investors bet big to take advantage of Taiwan's AI boom, but some are paying a steep price for doing so.
For more stories from Taiwan and Manila, visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow us on our social media.
There's so many things that I wish the world could see.
It is amazing to watch this captain maneuver this giant ship.
It takes 3 days to cook this. The flavor is unbelievable, incredible.
And it's my turn to make something inspired by Chef Gore. It's going to be quite a challenge.
Can you imagine that?
It's surreal, yes, so real. I can't give up. I got some ass kicking to do.
Nice move. We're pushing each other to explore and experiment in new, different ways.
5, 4, 3, 2.
A warm welcome to TaiwanPlus News.
Exploring the issues that matter to you.
Not just to Taiwan, the whole world is watching.
很多时候是我们眼睛看不到的地方。
We might encounter mishaps and mistakes along the way. But at the end of the day,
it just transmits something straight from the heart.
Yes.
Cheers.
Bon appetit. It is about the fun, and it's about the glamour, and it's also about something much deeper than that.
Sometimes you just gotta seize the opportunity. You just gotta do it.
Have a place where you're appreciated for you exactly as you are, and where you can shine and be seen.
Is there a place you've been searching for?
We bring you stories, not just to Taiwan.
Exploring the issues that matter to you.
This is a journey that will move you. Our stories are all connected. TaiwanPlus.
For more news from both of Taiwan's Mazu pilgrimages and around the world, download the app or check us out on social media.
Welcome back to What's Up Taiwan. Taiwan's stock market made gains after a major US index provider raised Taiwan's rating in its 3 key indexes. MSCI upgraded Taiwan's weighting in its emerging markets index from 26.6% to 26.85%. It also raised its figures for the all-country world and all-country Asia, excluding Japan, indexes. Taiwan's stock exchange says it has been seeing foreign investor interest in Taiwanese companies. But some analysts warn the influx of hot money could lead to more volatility.
所以它当然也会带来一定的风险，但是长期来讲，那个像 MSCI 这些指标，它有调升我们台股的权重，这个在长期来讲确实是好事啊。
Analysts expect the upgrade to bring billions of US dollars in foreign capital to Taiwan. The AI boom has sent Taiwan's stock market soaring, drawing in young investors eager to build wealth faster. Some are borrowing money to invest, taking on debt in the hope of bigger returns. But when the markets turn, that strategy can lead to bigger losses. Our reporter Lily Lamartina speaks to young investors about why they wanted to buy in and the price some had to pay.
The global AI boom.
AI boom.
AI boom. The AI boom.
The AI boom has sent Taiwan's stock market soaring. For many young investors, this has created a fear of missing out on this opportunity to cash in. But buying more stocks means having enough money. For some, that means borrowing to invest.
因为主要就是我希望能够快速累积资产，因为其实如果按照本薪这样慢慢存钱的话，基本上我觉得会存很久，然后甚至要买房的话，我觉得也蛮困难的。
Their goal is simple: to build wealth faster. Many young people feel their wages alone are not enough to build the life they want. So they've turned to borrowing money to invest, taking on greater debt in the hope of higher returns.
那我4、5月就是有跟家人借钱，然后就是买了蛮多股票的，对，然后但其实4、5月的状况都很好，就是4、5月就是很夸张，就是你一买就涨一涨，对你可能1个月就涨了5成以上了，甚至翻倍。
This strategy is known as leveraging, borrowing money to increase the size of an investment. Some investors are taking that risk even further, borrowing money to buy leveraged products that can amplify returns, but also magnify losses.
那所以说，其实我们本身那个时候，我信贷再加上这个权证，其实就是杠杆乘以杠杆，所以倍数会放到大概30倍左右，对。所以也就是说，当市场在非常好的时候，赚钱是非常快的，这样子。
For a while, these strategies worked in their favor. But the market can change faster than expected.
但是后来遇到大概7月吧，7月初开始，整个股市科技股来说，整个是大下跌的状态，所以就等于是我原本5、6月的报酬，然后到7月都吐回去了，甚至还倒赔。
When leveraged investments lose value, the debt remains. Mark learned that the hard way during Taiwan's 2022 bear market. With the U.S. Federal Reserve aggressively raising interest rates, Taiwan's stock market plunged more than 20%. But his monthly loan payments continued.
那个时候压力非常大，因为我当时的信贷金额大概是220万，对，那每个月偿还大概需要3万多，对，所以就是这已经超过我当时薪水的1半了，对，所以当时其实压力会很大。
Economists like Dakaran Wu of National Central University warn this debt servicing creates serious financial pressure for young investors.
那一旦跌下来，你用股票融资的这些散户有可能就会被断头。那你如果拿房子抵押，产生严重的亏损，你可能就没有能力去偿还这些贷款。那这个呢，都会对很多家庭在财富或者在财务上会产生一定的压力。
With the AI boom continuing to push stock prices higher, Wu worries that a future market correction could hit young investors especially hard.
那这些科技公司如果更没有办法从消费者那一端去赚更多的钱，那它未来在 AI 的投资上面可能就会减缓。那散户呢，他通常不像法人有这么专业的能力可以去判断股市的涨跌。那再加上当冲的这么庞大的交易量，即使到时候出了问题，我们的国安基金规模只有5000亿，它也没有办法去挡。
Mark, now in his 30s, no longer views leverage the way he did in his 20s. Despite 3 major market downturns, he still made money through the strategy. But he says those financial gains came at a high personal cost.
如果再给我一次选择，我就不会再杠上加杠，这样的方式。对，那因为其实我觉得获利是一个重点。那另外就是说你的身心压力，也是回过来看，就是当时所遭受一个很大的折磨这样。
As Taiwan's AI-driven market boom continues, the question is, how much are young investors willing to borrow? And what happens to them if the market turns? Joseph Wu and Lily Lamartina for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's government is taking steps to crack down on the use of cryptocurrency in money laundering. The cabinet has approved changes to Taiwan's Anti-Money Laundering Act. These updates would criminalize providing digital asset services without authorization. The changes include punitive measures for firms that issue stable coins or provide third-party financial services without proper paperwork. That could mean prison time for cases involving money laundering. US President Donald Trump has made tariffs a key part of his trade policy in his second term. Last April, Trump introduced his Liberation Day tariffs, which placed a 32% tax on Taiwanese goods entering the US. While those tariffs have since been reduced, their introduction and implementation caused chaos for many businesses. In New York City, Leslie Liao spoke to two business owners who are heavily reliant on Taiwanese imports about how they were affected.
There's a store in New York City so important to Taiwan's cultural footprint in the U.S. that then President Tsai Ing-wen paid a visit there in 2023. Yunhai Shop sells all kinds of Taiwanese ingredients, books, snacks, and even kitchen appliances. Every inch of the store's small footprint has been thoughtfully planned out, and you might think you're in a general goods store in rural Taiwan while browsing its shelves. Founded in 2018, first as an online store, Yunhai opened a physical location in 2022. Founder Lisa Chang Smith, together with her partner Lillian Lin, had one goal: to elevate Taiwan's cultural visibility on New York's already highly diverse streets and around the United States.
We actually have a warehouse and purchasing agent in Taiwan, and we purchase from small farmers, artisans, also Dazhong larger companies, consolidated all in a warehouse there, and then we import that to the United States.
Yunhai's business relies on imports, a model that's been heavily impacted by U.S. President Donald Trump's second-term trade policy. Trump has turned tariffs, or import taxes, into key leverage in his diplomatic toolkit. In April 2025, he announced sweeping Liberation Day tariffs, which slapped general duties on almost every country in the world. At the time, Taiwan was hit with a 32% tariff on its wares. That was a big blow for Yunhai.
The shock was the size and honestly how broadly and I'll say kind of dumbly applied it was. This was discussed as like a reciprocal tariff.
The tariffs would have ate into most of Yunhai's margins. But Chang Smith says one of the most frustrating aspects was the uncertainty in how the situation played out.
I mean, our first instinct was a little bit to wait and see as well, because that's the character of this administration, is that things wildly fluctuate. And then after that, it was clear that there was going to be some tariff. And to be honest, they were, I can't remember, it was like paused. I don't know what the word was, hiatus or paused. And then like all of a sudden we had to do it. And then the numbers changed and we were in negotiations. There was quite a bit of roller coaster.
What followed for Yunhai was a gauntlet of hurdles. The company had to speak to vendors, adjust its orders, modify hiring plans. In the end, the business made it through with much help from the local community.
What ended up working the best is just telling our story, sharing it with our customers, because people showed up. We had a really big bump in business, which was incredible to see.
Yunhai had to get creative to overcome the tariffs. That included working with another Taiwanese-American business in New York, Tea Company, which sells artisanal teas from Taiwan.
The last time TaiwanPlus spoke with the owner of Tea Company, Elena Liao, Donald Trump had only just taken office for his second term. Back then, tariffs were still just a campaign promise. But a year and a half later, Liao has now dealt with Trump's so-called Liberation Day tariffs, and we're here to learn about her experience dealing with them.
The big logistical hurdle for Liao was trying to cut costs to accommodate the new tariff policy. Her business usually imported goods by air, but because of the tariffs, she shifted to ocean shipping with a little help from Yunhai.
They basically import all the goods from Taiwan to see if we can sort of help each other and we can offset some of their shipping costs by helping us bringing product in via ocean. And so that becomes kind of the continuous relationship that we have with them.
Taiwan and the U.S. have since reached an agreement on Trump's tariffs, capping the U.S. levies on Taipei at 15%. While Liao has weathered that storm, she says certainty is far from a sure thing these days. As a business owner heavily reliant on global trade winds, it's not just tariffs on her mind anymore.
We're not done. Because of the war now, there's a significant increase in fuel charges for bringing in shipment. So I just heard from the Yunhai team, I think it's going to be 50% more than what it used to be. So I don't know, is the effort worth it?
Yunhai and Tae Company are still running smoothly, continuing their work of helping spread Taiwanese soft power. While Trump's tariffs are seemingly now in the rearview mirror, their experiences with them are a testament to their resilience and their love for showcasing Taiwan's culture. Eason Chen and Leslie Liao in New York City for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan has been chosen to host games for the 2027 WBSC Premier 12, a major international baseball tournament. It comes after Taiwan's national team won its first ever championship at the tournament in 2024. This time, the team is aiming for a ticket to the upcoming Olympics in Los Angeles, but will need to top the Premier 12 Asia roster first. If this doesn't happen, the team will still have a shot at the final Olympic qualifier, also held in Taiwan. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Finally today, we're in Italy, where a popular elderly dancing duo is inspiring other seniors to lead a more active lifestyle. I'm Reece. Take care and see you next time.